Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another transformative journey where today we uncover the secret to creating the life you've always dreamed of. This is your moment to break free from fear, step into your power, and rewrite your story. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and get ready to awaken the unstoppable force within you, because everything you desire is already waiting for you. Have you ever felt like you gave everything in a relationship, yet it still slipped away? It's heartbreaking when you've done all the right things, offered kindness, understanding, and love, but somehow the connection fades. This can leave you questioning your worth and wondering why things didn't work out. The truth is, no matter how perfect your actions may seem on the surface, the real power in relationships comes from something deeper than what you do. It's all about what you believe and feel inside. Relationships are mirrors, reflecting the energy you send out. You could have done everything right on the outside, sent the perfect messages, been available when needed, and given him all the love and care he might have asked for. But if your internal energy wasn't aligned with the love and affection you sought, it wouldn't stick. Often, beneath those perfect actions lies a deeper fear, insecurity, or neediness. Some mirrors lie after you and your feelings of letting down like others. These emotions can seep through, even when you're trying your hardest to be the perfect partner. The energy you carry within shapes the reality you experience outside. When there's a disconnection between how you act and how you feel on the inside, that's when things start to shift in ways you didn't expect. The way you view the world, yourself, and others plays a huge role in shaping your experiences. When you expect love, care, and devotion, you draw that energy toward you. However, if you secretly harbor beliefs like I'm not good enough or love is difficult to hold on to, those assumptions will create barriers between you and the very love you seek. This is why, no matter how much effort you put in, the outcome often reflects the beliefs you hold deep down. If you believe he might pull away, you might unknowingly create the conditions for that very thing to happen. Have you ever noticed that the more you chase after something, the more it seems to run away from you? It's a paradox in relationships. The more you focus on keeping someone close, the more you may unknowingly push them away. When you're emotionally attached to the outcome of the relationship, when your happiness feels entirely dependent on him, you are inadvertently sending a message of desperation. You have to keep your valuation in check. Desperation can create pressure, and pressure makes anyone feel trapped. It's crucial to understand that true connection happens when you can freely allow someone to come and go without clinging or grasping. There's a deeper layer to this dynamic. When someone pulls away, it's easy to interpret it as a rejection, but it doesn't always mean that. Often it's more about their own personal struggles, fears, or insecurities. When someone pulls back, it could be a reflection of what's going on inside of them, not necessarily a commentary on you. They might be unsure of what they want or dealing with issues of their own that they aren't ready to face. Rather than internalizing it as a failure or a personal attack, try shifting your perspective. Understand that this is more about their journey than it is a statement about your value. What you see on the surface is not always the full picture, and their distance could be the result of their emotional state, not your actions. The most powerful shift happens when you stop seeking validation from outside sources and start looking within. When you can deeply believe in your worth, your value, and your ability to create the relationships you desire, you'll attract the energy that aligns with this new self-concept. When you truly know you are deserving of love, respect, and care, you will no longer feel the need to prove your worth through endless efforts. Love will come to you because you radiate confidence, strength, and abundance, not from a place of neediness. The way you see yourself shapes the way others see you. If you continually view yourself as someone who is constantly giving without receiving, you might attract people who take and never reciprocate. The key is to develop an unshakable belief in your inherent value. The more you affirm your worth, believing deep down that you are deserving of love, that you are worthy of being cherished, the more you will draw the right kind of energy toward you. Start living your life as though you are already the person who receives love effortlessly, and the universe will begin to mirror that back to you in unexpected ways. Lifestyle is the key. It's important to realize that you can still manifest the outcome you desire, but it starts with letting go of the need for control. When you let go of any attachment to the outcome, the space for true connection opens. Instead of focusing on his actions or trying to change how he feels, focus on how you feel about yourself and the relationship. Align with the feelings of love, security, and appreciation that you want to experience, as if they are already true. By embodying those emotions, you'll create a new reality, one where love flows naturally and without resistance. It's one of the most powerful forces in shaping your life, yet it's often overlooked. Your assumptions. The beliefs you hold in your mind have the ability to shape everything around you. If you've ever found yourself in a situation where no matter how much you gave, it still didn't work out the way you hoped, the reason might lie in the assumptions you unknowingly carried. The truth is, what you assume about yourself, about love, and about life is exactly what you attract into your reality. At the core of everything you experience is a mental blueprint, these assumptions you have about yourself and the world. If you assume that love is difficult to maintain, that relationships are always full of struggle, or that you're unworthy of true affection, then that's what your reality will reflect. These assumptions create invisible barriers that prevent you from fully experiencing the kind of love and connection you desire. It's as if your mind has already decided the outcome before anything even happens, and your actions and energy follow suit. When you hold on to assumptions, you start to subconsciously create the conditions that support them. For instance, if you assume that a relationship will eventually fall apart, your actions and energy will be infused with that belief. This could mean that you'll pull back emotionally when things seem to be going well, sabotage moments of closeness out of fear of getting hurt, or even start doubting the other person's feelings without cause. What you're doing is feeding into the assumption that things will fail, and in doing so, you are setting the stage for that very outcome. The law of attraction is often discussed, but few realize how deeply your assumptions impact this process. If your assumption is that you're not deserving of real love, or that relationships always end in heartbreak, then this is the energy you project. This energy then radiates outward, attracting more situations and people that affirm these beliefs. You become stuck in a cycle where you only attract what reinforces the assumptions you hold about yourself and others. It's not just about the words you say or the actions you take. It's about the underlying beliefs and assumptions that drive them. These beliefs don't need to be obvious or overt. They can often be subtle, lurking just below the surface of your consciousness. You may even be convinced that these beliefs are the reason why things are so difficult. You may think you're acting in a way that invites love and connection, but if deep down you're holding an assumption that you're not good enough, that you're unworthy of love, or that relationships always end in disappointment, then no matter how many right things you do, your reality will reflect that assumption. The amazing part about assumptions is that they don't have to be tied to your current reality. They are simply beliefs, and beliefs can change. The first step in shifting your reality is to identify the assumptions you have about love, relationships, and yourself. Ask yourself, what do I believe to be true about love? What do I assume about how relationships should unfold? What beliefs do I hold about my own worthiness of love and respect? The answers to these questions will reveal the assumptions that may be shaping your life in ways you're not fully aware of. In the next section, I invite you to write about. Once you identify these assumptions, the next step is to challenge them. Begin to replace limiting or negative assumptions with ones that empower you. If you've always believed that love is fleeting, replace that assumption with the belief that love is abundant and everlasting. If you've assumed that you're not worthy of deep connection, remind yourself daily of your inherent worth and value. The more you focus on these new, empowering assumptions, the more they will begin to shape your reality. Remember, your assumptions don't need to be perfect right away. It's about gradually shifting your mindset and creating a new narrative. If you hold the assumption that you deserve to be loved and cherished, that is the vibration you will put out into the world. Others will begin to respond to that energy, and you'll start to attract relationships that align with this new belief. As your assumptions evolve, so will the experiences that come into your life. You'll begin to see that what you once thought was impossible or out of reach is now flowing effortlessly to you, because you've changed the way you see yourself in the world. Every moment is an opportunity to shift your assumptions. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, and the beliefs you hold are all forming the reality you live in. By consciously choosing to believe that you're deserving of love, respect, and all the good things life has to offer, you are setting the stage for a reality that aligns with those beliefs. Out of these forms of beliefs, consciously choosing to believe that you are deserving of love, respect, and all the good things in life has to offer. There will be moments when old assumptions creep back in, times when doubt and fear try to take hold. But remember, your assumptions are not set in stone. They can be rewritten at any time. The more you focus on the new assumptions that empower you, the more your reality will shift to match them. In the end, your assumptions are the key to unlocking the life and love you desire. They are not just thoughts. They are the foundation upon which your reality is built. So ask yourself, what assumptions am I carrying with me today? And how can I shift them to create the love and happiness I truly deserve? When you pour your heart into a relationship, it's natural to expect that same level of care and attention in return. However, what if the very act of wanting to hold on too tightly is the thing that's keeping you from experiencing the love and connection you crave? Detachment might sound counterintuitive, especially when you feel deeply connected to someone, but the truth is, detachment can be the key to unlocking freedom, both for you and the relationship itself. Clinging to a person or to any outcome can create a sense of desperation that suffocates the relationship. When you feel like you need someone to fulfill you, you're essentially giving away your power. This neediness sends out a signal of insecurity, and unfortunately, it's not a signal that attracts love. When you're constantly worried about whether someone will call, whether they'll text back, or whether they'll choose you, you're living in a constant state of anxiety. The result is that the relationship feels strained because it's not about the connection anymore. It's about your need to have the connection. And this is the only way to really master it. Letting go of the need to control the outcome of a relationship doesn't mean you don't care. It means that you are secure enough in yourself to allow things to unfold naturally. When you release the need to control, you open the space for the relationship to grow and thrive. It's about understanding that no matter what happens, you are whole and complete on your own. Your happiness, your peace, and your self-worth don't come from another person. They come from within. When you detach emotionally from the outcome, you are able to see the relationship for what it truly is, rather than what you desperately want it to be. This shift in mindset allows you to observe the relationship without emotional charge. You can look at the situation clearly, without projecting your fears, doubts, or insecurities onto it. The moment you stop focusing on what's happening next, whether he's going to call, whether he's thinking about you, whether he's pulling away, you free yourself from the anxiety that comes with constantly seeking approval and validation. Detachment brings clarity. When you stop being so emotionally invested in the outcome, you can make decisions from a place of peace and confidence rather than fear. You stop allowing someone else's behavior to determine your emotional state. If he pulls away, you can see it for what it is, an opportunity for growth, not a personal failure. If he's distant, you can maintain your sense of self-worth and allow him to come to you when he's ready. Detachment gives you the freedom to choose what's best for you without being clouded by the fear of losing someone or being rejected. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that love means holding on tightly to someone, that by being constantly available or pursuing them, you're showing how much you care. But real love is never about holding on with a death grip. Love is about freedom, trust, and allowing each other to exist independently while still being connected. When you let go of the attachment to any specific outcome, you invite the possibility of real, genuine love to flow into your life. True freedom comes when you let go of your expectations and accept that you can still experience joy, peace, and fulfillment, regardless of what someone else is doing. When you stop attaching your sense of happiness to someone else's actions, you reclaim your power. No longer will you be at the mercy of their mood swings, their silence, or their unpredictability. Instead, you are grounded in your own sense of self-worth and peace. By detaching, you're not only giving yourself the space to grow, but you're also allowing the other person the freedom to grow. When there's no pressure, when there's no expectation, people are free to be themselves, which often leads to a much stronger, more authentic connection. It's when we let go of the desperate need to control that we allow others to show up as their true selves, unafraid, unguarded, and honest. In many ways, detachment is the key to creating a healthier, more sustainable relationship. It's about recognizing that the other person is not your source of happiness, but rather a companion on your journey. When you can stand firm in who you are, independent of the relationship, you become more attractive, more magnetic. People are drawn to those who are emotionally free, those who know their worth and aren't afraid to let others come and go as they please. Moreover, detachment allows you to break free from toxic patterns and cycles that can often arise in relationships. When you're attached to a particular outcome, you may find yourself in a constant state of stress, trying to manipulate or force things to go your way. Detachment helps you step back from this cycle. It allows you to regain control of your life, your emotions, and your happiness. Detachment, instead of getting caught up in the drama or uncertainty of a relationship, you remain rooted in your own emotional strength. Ultimately, detachment is not about giving up. It's about gaining control over your own emotional world. It's about finding peace no matter what happens in the relationship. It's about trusting that regardless of what occurs, you are enough, you are worthy, and you will be okay. When you live with this mindset, you no longer need to chase after someone or try to hold on to something that's not meant for you. You can allow love to come to you freely, unencumbered by the fear of losing it. When someone pulls away, ignores you, or behaves in a way that leaves you feeling confused or rejected, it's easy to internalize their actions and wonder what you did wrong. You might begin to question your worth, your behavior, or even the love you've been offering. However, the truth is that another person's actions are a direct reflection of who they are, not of who you are, of what you've done. Their behavior is a mirror of their own feelings, fears, and insecurities. And it's important to recognize that these are their issues, not yours. It's common to assume that someone's actions are a response to us, but this isn't always the case. People react based on their own internal world, shaped by past experiences, fears, insecurities, and unresolved emotions. When someone pulls away or acts distant, it's not necessarily because of something you've done. It's often a reflection of their own struggles, emotional state, or even unresolved baggage from past relationships. Their actions are a result of their inner world, not a direct commentary on your worth or value. Think about it for a moment. When someone ignores you, it might feel personal. But their behavior could have little to do with you and everything to do with their own emotional state. Perhaps they're afraid of getting too close, scared of vulnerability, or simply not ready for the kind of connection you're offering. Maybe they've been hurt in the past and are afraid of repeating those same patterns. When someone behaves in a way that leaves you feeling uncertain, it's important to remind yourself that their actions reflect who they are, not who you are. It's essential to separate your self-worth from the actions of others. The way someone treats you says more about their own experiences, fears, and emotional state than it does about your value. If someone treats you poorly, it's not a reflection of your worthiness or your ability to love. It's simply a reflection of where they are in their life and what they are capable of offering at that moment. That sometimes goes along with the decision to leave a relationship or career behind and what they are capable of offering at that moment. If they choose to ignore or withdraw from you, it's more about their own limitations than anything you've done. End quote. One of the most powerful things you can do is to stop taking responsibility for someone else's actions. Their decisions, behaviors, and emotional responses are theirs alone to own. It can be difficult to remember this when you're emotionally invested in a relationship, but it's crucial to recognize that you are not responsible for their emotional world. You are only responsible for your own actions, thoughts, and feelings. By letting go of the need to control or fix someone else's behavior, you release yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil and free yourself to focus on what truly matters: your own well-being. When you allow someone's actions to define how you feel about yourself, you give away your power. You begin to depend on external validation to determine your self-worth, which leaves you vulnerable to manipulation, disappointment, and frustration. The moment you realize that their actions are a reflection of them and not you, you take back your power. You stop letting their behavior dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead, you begin to see yourself as worthy, whole, and deserving of love, regardless of how others treat you. The truth is, you cannot change how someone else behaves. You cannot control their emotions, their fears, or their reactions. What you can control is how you respond to them. When someone's actions leave you feeling hurt, confused, or rejected, you have the power to choose how you interpret those actions. You can choose to see their behavior as a reflection of their own struggles and not take it personally. By doing so, you protect yourself from unnecessary emotional pain and maintain your sense of self-worth. It's also important to remember that you cannot make someone love you, respect you, or treat you well if they're not ready or willing to do so. Relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and emotional availability. If someone is not in a place where they can offer you those things, no matter how much you try to please them or win their affection, it won't change the outcome. It's a hard truth to accept, but it's essential for your emotional health. You deserve someone who can meet you where you are and offer you the same level of respect and care that you give to them, the people you are falling in love with. The key to emotional freedom is to stop tying your self-worth to someone else's behavior. Their actions are theirs to own, and they reflect their own internal struggles. You cannot change them, and you are not responsible for how they feel or act. Instead of focusing on their behavior, focus on yourself. Reaffirm your own worth and recognize that you are deserving of love, respect, and happiness, regardless of how anyone else behaves. When you stop taking someone's actions personally, you create space for growth, healing, and clarity. You allow yourself to heal from past hurts and release the need for approval or validation. You learn to love yourself unconditionally, independent of anyone else's behavior. In doing so, you create a solid foundation of self-worth that no one can shake. You stop seeking external validation because you no longer need it to feel whole. When you desire something deeply, whether it's love, success, or fulfillment, it can often feel like you're chasing it, constantly striving to make it a reality. Yet the true secret to manifestation lies in the power of living in the end. Instead of focusing on what you lack or constantly yearning for what you want, living in the end means aligning yourself with the feeling of already having it. This shift in perspective is not just about wishing or hoping for the best, it's about embodying the experience as though it has already manifested in your life. Living in the end requires a shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. Most people live with a constant feeling of needing to achieve something, always striving for the next step, never truly feeling like they have arrived. But when you embrace living in the end, you stop seeing your desires as something to chase after. Instead, you embrace the energy and emotions of having already achieved them. There is a feeling of value and importance in youth. When you fully embody this feeling, your outer reality begins to align with the emotions and thoughts you hold in your inner world. The key is to truly feel the joy, the gratitude, and the satisfaction that would come with your desires being realized, without waiting for external circumstances to change first. Imagine yourself in a state of deep fulfillment, as though the very thing you desire has already been realized. What does it feel like to experience that success, that love, that happiness? How would you walk? How would you talk? And how would you think if you were already living your dream life? The more vividly you can connect to that feeling, the more powerful your manifestation becomes. When you live in the end, you begin to see the world through the lens of someone who has already succeeded. You are no longer waiting for the next thing to happen to feel happy or fulfilled. You are already living in that space, experiencing the joy and satisfaction of your desires already fulfilled. And if it seems impossible, let me tell you, it can be done. Set goals and struggle to succeed. Fall in love with yourself. The beauty of living in the end is that it frees you from the constant cycle of longing and waiting. When you focus only on the future, you create a sense of disconnection between where you are and where you want to be. This disconnection can cause frustration, anxiety, and doubt, making it even harder to manifest your desires. But when you live in the end, you close the gap between the present moment and your future success. You shift your focus from the absence of what you want to the presence of it. Instead of yearning, you shift into a state of gratitude for the life you are already experiencing. Living in the end means choosing to act as if your desires are already part of your current reality. You no longer have to convince yourself that you are worthy of what you desire, because you are already experiencing it in your mind and heart. This approach requires faith in the unseen and trust in the process. It's about letting go of doubt and fear and fully embracing the belief that everything you want is already on its way to you. By living in the end, you are essentially telling the universe that you believe your dreams are already true. You align your actions, thoughts, and energy to match that belief. The powerful aspect of this is that when you embody this state of already having what you desire, the world begins to respond to you in ways that align with your inner world. Your actions and decisions are infused with confidence and clarity, because you are no longer driven by a sense of lack. You are acting from a place of certainty and abundance, and that energy naturally attracts the circumstances and opportunities that match it. Instead of chasing after your desires, you allow them to come to you effortlessly, because you are already living as though they are your reality. And nothing changes except this shift can be challenging at first, especially when external circumstances are not yet aligned with your desires. But it's in this very challenge that you begin to build resilience. The more you practice living in the end, the more you begin to trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you. When you release the need to control how it will manifest or when it will show up, you open the door to miraculous and unexpected opportunities. The more you let go and trust in the process, the more your desires find their way to you in ways you couldn't have predicted. Living in the end also means embracing the concept of time differently. Time often feels like a barrier between where you are and where you want to be. But when you live in the end, you transcend the limitations of time. You are no longer constrained by deadlines or timelines. Instead, you align with the feeling of having already received what you desire, which shortens the gap between your present reality and the manifestation of your desires. Time becomes a fluid concept because you are living in the moment of your dreams, already being fulfilled. The process of living in the end is not about forcing outcomes or trying to make something happen. It's about embodying the emotions of success, love, and fulfillment, and allowing the universe to bring your desires to you naturally. When you live with the conviction that what you desire is already yours, you align your energy and vibration with that belief. This alignment opens the floodgates to the abundance and opportunities that have always been available to you, waiting for you to recognize them. When life feels out of control, it's easy to start doubting your worth, your capabilities, or your place in the world. You may begin to see yourself through the lens of others' opinions, or based on your past failures or current challenges. This disempowering view can trap you in a cycle of self-doubt, leading you further away from your true potential. However, the moment you decide to reclaim your power, it starts with transforming your self-concept. Your self-concept is how you see yourself, your beliefs about who you are, and the value you place on yourself. It shapes how you interact with the world and dictates what you believe is possible for you. When you shift your self-concept, you shift your reality. Many people live their lives in reaction to external circumstances. They base their self-worth on how others treat them or how successful they are in comparison to others. This mindset creates an unstable foundation because it depends on things outside of yourself. But when you decide to reclaim your power through self-concept, you take back control. You stop allowing the world to dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead, you begin to define yourself based on your own beliefs, desires, and values. You no longer seek validation from external sources because you realize that true power comes from within. Social conditions create a relationship with the person seeking validation by trying to meet that person's conditions. The first step in reclaiming your power through self-concept is recognizing that you are not defined by your past. Your past experiences, whether good or bad, do not determine who you are today. They are simply a series of events that have shaped your journey, but they do not define your worth or your potential. When you cling to past mistakes or failures, you limit your growth and your ability to move forward. To reclaim your power, you must release the past and embrace the person you are becoming. Your future is not limited by what you've experienced, it's determined by the beliefs you hold about yourself right now. The way you speak to yourself is another crucial element in reclaiming your power. Your inner dialogue can either lift you up or tear you down. If you constantly criticize yourself, doubt your abilities, or focus on your flaws, you are reinforcing a negative self-concept. But when you choose to speak to yourself with kindness, compassion, and confidence, You begin to change your perception of who you are. Your thoughts become aligned with the person you want to be, and this shift in mindset empowers you to take action toward your goals. Your self-concept is also influenced by the people you surround yourself with. If you constantly find yourself in relationships where you feel undervalued, disrespected, or unsupported, it may be a sign that your self-concept needs to be reevaluated. The relationships we cultivate are a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. When you begin to reclaim your power, you attract people who uplift, support, and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. That notice, you start to set boundaries that protect your energy and prioritize your well-being. As your self-concept shifts, the people around you will mirror that change, and you'll find that you begin to attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships. One of the most empowering aspects of reclaiming your power through self-concept is realizing that you are the creator of your reality. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the world around you. When you believe that you are capable of achieving anything, you take the necessary steps to make that belief a reality. Your self-concept acts as a magnet, attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your vision for your life. Now is the time to realize that you have access to everything you need to achieve your purpose and gain the life you desire. When you believe in your own worth and potential, the universe responds by opening doors and providing opportunities that you may not have seen before. As you begin to shift your self-concept, you'll notice a profound change in the way you carry yourself. You'll walk with more confidence, speak with more conviction, and make decisions from a place of empowerment. Your energy will radiate self-assurance, and others will be drawn to your presence. When you reclaim your power, you stop seeking approval from others because you are no longer looking for validation outside of yourself. You know that you are enough, just as you are. And this sense of inner strength becomes magnetic. Reclaiming your power through self-concept also means letting go of limiting beliefs that have held you back for far too long. These beliefs, often formed from childhood experiences or societal conditioning, create barriers to your success and happiness. When you begin to identify and challenge these limiting beliefs, you open the door to limitless possibilities. You start to believe that anything is possible for you, and this new belief system propels you forward in ways you never thought possible. Part of reclaiming your power is also about taking responsibility for your own life. You are not a victim of your circumstances, and you are not powerless in the face of adversity. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you begin to step into your true power. You understand that your choices, actions, and mindset determine the outcomes you experience. No one else has the power to dictate your future, and you are no longer waiting for someone else to change your life. You have the tools, the strength, and the ability to create the life you desire. And it starts with the way you view yourself. To reclaim your power through self-concept is to recognize that you are deserving of success, love, and abundance. You are worthy of achieving your dreams and living a life of fulfillment. As you change the way you see yourself, you begin to attract the experiences and people that align with your new self-concept. The more you embrace your power, the more you will see the world respond to you in ways that reflect your inner strength and confidence.